Have you ever caught yourself looking at someone and thinking, wow, why can't they just stop messing things up?
This is messed up, dude.
I know!
Maybe it's a friend making terrible dating decisions,
It's all about the bumps in your heart.
or your sibling always causing drama.
Ah!
Either way, we've all done it. But here's a curveball. What if the reason you're so annoyed has nothing to do with them and everything to do with you? That's exactly what happens to Finn in one of Adventure Time's most bizarre episodes, All the Little People.
Wow.
It kicks off with Finn casually asking Jake,
Do you think you should date someone just like you? Or someone who's like your opposite?
classic Finn, right? Just an innocent kid trying to figure relationships out, or maybe not. What starts as an innocent question quickly spirals into Finn pulling the strings, literally, on his friends' love lives.
Alright, well, what about BMO and Ice King?
What about them?
Would they make a good couple?
Whoa.
It gets weird. Like, Finn, seriously, our little BMO and Ice King, you good, bro? But beneath this awkward puppet show lies an unsettling truth about why we meddle in others' lives. The reason Finn goes from being adorable to borderline creepy isn't just cartoon quirks. It's a mirror to our own hidden insecurities and frustrations. Today, we're diving deep into Finn's strangest moment, why it feels so strangely familiar, and what it secretly reveals about you, me, and everyone watching. If this hits home, don't forget to subscribe. We've got a lot more Adventure Time deep dives coming up. By the end of this video, you might see yourself and Finn in a completely new way. So let's quickly rewind to how Finn got himself into this bizarre scenario in the first place. Finn and Jake are just chilling on a hillside at sunset, talking about relationships, standard bro stuff, when Finn casually asks his questions about dating. Jake, being Jake, tries to give some insightful yet totally vague advice about feelings, when out of nowhere, Magic Man, Adventure Time's certified master of chaos, appears behind them unnoticed. This guy loves stirring the pot. He's cooking up something spicy this time. After casually popping up like a shady magician at a kid's birthday party, Magic Man sneakily attaches a mysterious little sack to Finn's pants and ominously says,
I'm not coming back.
no red flags there, right? Later, Finn and Jake notice the bag and discover miniature versions of all their friends inside. Tiny Princess Bubblegum, Tiny Ice King, Tiny Lady Rainicorn. It's basically Finn's entire social circle, now pocket-sized. And if you're thinking, well, this is going downhill fast, you're absolutely right. Despite Jake's warnings,
Maybe it's black magic. Maybe we shouldn't mess with them.
Finn can't resist the temptation. He decides to start playing around with the little people, pairing them up just to see what happens. At first, it seems harmless, maybe even a bit funny. But then things escalate. Fast.
Earth to Finn. Are you okay?
Yes.
Finn, in his off fixation, starts creating pairings that have no business happening, messing with their feelings and stirring up drama. And the worst part? He isn't doing this innocently anymore. There's a creepy glint in his eye as he mutters casually to Jake.
Weird, but cool. Right, Jake?
Jake, understandably, isn't convinced.
I don't like where you're going with this. It ain't wholesome.
Clearly, Finn's stepping over some serious boundaries here.
Okay, whatevs.
Soon enough, Finn's playing puppet master like he's some kind of emotional dictator, pulling strings he shouldn't even touch. It becomes clear he's playing out deeper emotional issues through his friends. This isn't just a game anymore. It's a full-blown emotional meltdown in miniature form. But here's the kicker. While it's easy to judge Finn and cringe at his actions, there's something deeper happening here, something deeply human and painfully relatable. Because Finn's disturbing puppet show is more than just twisted fun. It's a reflection of something hidden within himself, something he isn't ready to face yet. And let's be real. Haven't we all had moments when we tried to control situations or people, only to realize later we were actually trying to fix ourselves? So before you start judging Finn too harshly, stick around. Because what's about to come next will reveal exactly why Finn did what he did, and why deep down, you might have done it too. Okay, let's get real for a second. Finn's tiny puppet drama isn't just weird, it's textbook-level psychological stuff. But don't worry, I'll keep this simple and relatable, No boring psych lectures here. What Finn's doing is actually called projection. Basically, it's when you unknowingly put your own hidden feelings, insecurities, or frustrations onto other people. You know when you're annoyed at a friend's drama, only to realize later you've got the exact same drama going on in your own life? Yeah, that's projection, my friends. Finn thinks he's just innocently messing around with his miniature buddies, but what he's really doing is acting out his own emotional chaos. Think about it. All these forced pairings, conflicts, jealousy, this isn't random. It's Finn's own internal drama being played out in front of him like the weirdest Netflix reality show you've ever seen. When Jake calls Finn out saying,
You crossed the line from weird curiosity into some dark, messed up stuff.
I know!
he hits the nail right on the head. Finn isn't just being weird, he's reflecting something deep, dark, and messy inside himself onto these little people. And honestly, we've all done this, even if we don't have magic miniature versions of our friends, thankfully. Have you ever gotten irrationally mad at someone else's relationship choices, only to realize later it's because you're insecure about your own love life? Ever criticized someone harshly, then figured out it was really about your own fears? Congratulations, you're human, just like Finn. Projection happens because it's easier to see flaws and issues clearly in someone else, rather than facing them in ourselves. It's uncomfortable, sure, but it's also totally normal. The real trick isn't avoiding projection completely, good luck with that, but recognizing it when it happens. Finn, unfortunately, isn't quite there yet. He's neck deep in his own emotional mess and hasn't even realized it. But he's about to get a major reality check, one that will hit way closer to home than he expects. So, if you're still thinking Finn is just a creepy puppet master kid, stick around. Because next, we're breaking down the specific scenes where Finn's hidden emotional turmoil is exposed. And trust me, once you see it clearly, you'll probably recognize a bit of yourself too. Alright, buckle up, because now we're diving straight into the most awkwardly revealing moments from this episode. Let's unpack exactly how Finn's hidden emotional chaos comes spilling out, scene by scene. First up, Finn pairs tiny Lady Rainicorn with Mr. Cupcake. Yep, Jake's girlfriend with Mr. Cupcake. Seriously questionable move, Finn. And the cherry on top? He glances nervously over at Jake, making sure he's asleep before sneaking these two together. Come on, Finn, this isn't exactly innocent curiosity anymore. The funny thing is, we've seen Jake jealous before. Remember the episode Video Makers, when Jake lost it over Mr. Cupcake going off script?
Why, you...
Check, please.
Clearly, Finn's subconscious remembers too. He's literally recreating his own friend's jealousy-driven drama, projecting something unresolved or uncomfortable from his own emotional life onto Jake's relationship. But it doesn't stop there. Finn then steps way over the line by pairing tiny Finn, yes, a miniature version of himself, with Lady Rainicorn.
What the ball, man?
Jake sees it and is understandably confused and angry. Really, Finn? That's some next-level emotional manipulation right there. And let's be honest, we all felt Jake's pain in this scene. Finn, you crossed a line, buddy. Things escalate into even stranger territory. Finn's pairings become increasingly wild and unhealthy, showing he's no longer exploring harmless curiosity. He's channeling unresolved emotions into troubled relationships. And he has the audacity to turn to Jake and say,
Weird, but cool. Right, Jake?
I don't like where you're going with this. It ain't wholesome.
Jake responds perfectly. Fast forward a bit and things get even darker. Jake leaves to clear his head, who can blame him, and Finn's left alone with his mess. That's when Finn pairs himself, the miniature version, with both Princess Bubblegum and Flame Princess, creating an emotional mess and inevitably causing conflict. It's not subtle. Finn is literally stuck between two relationships, symbolizing his confusion, emotional immaturity, and unresolved feelings. This isn't just Finn playing around anymore. It's him subconsciously acting out his internal struggles. And boy, does it show. Eventually, Jake returns to find Finn in a total emotional rut, exhausted and miserable. The chaos he created among the little people is out of control. Jake finally confronts him directly, saying exactly what we're all thinking.
This is messed up, dude.
And that's exactly it. Finn is being confronted with something crucial here, something psychologists have understood deeply. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Finn isn't randomly creating drama, he's replaying his inner struggles. And the real kicker? Finn hasn't even realized he's doing it yet. But there's another psychological truth unfolding here, one that's about to hit Finn even harder. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. That's precisely what's happening to Finn. He's been blindly acting out these hidden emotions, letting them drive his behavior, thinking it was just innocent curiosity. But now, with Jake's blunt honesty, Finn's unconscious is finally breaking through. Finn's forced to see the consequences of his actions: pain, jealousy, anger, all of it reflections of his own inner turmoil projected onto these innocent miniature versions of his friends. And it's at this exact moment Finn realizes he's not just messing around. He's forced to face the uncomfortable truth that these miniature scenarios are mirrors, reflecting something he's been avoiding deep inside himself. But the most revealing moment, the true emotional gut punch, hasn't even come yet. Finn is about to have a moment of clarity that's both painful and necessary. Stick around, because next we're going deeper into Finn's emotional breaking point. And fair warning, you might just see some uncomfortable similarities to your own life when you least expect it. Right now, you're probably watching Finn thinking, okay, this kid's officially crossed into creepy territory. And honestly, you're not wrong, but there's more going on beneath the surface. Finn's weird puppet master routine reveals something deeply human: the illusion of control. When we're overwhelmed internally, we often try to control things or people around us. Finn's obsessively orchestrating these miniature relationships because he's desperate for some order amidst his emotional chaos. Ironically, the harder he tries, the messier everything becomes. But there's another layer here. Something even more relatable: avoidance.
I think I just need some alone time. Gotta let my mind fester a bit, you know?
Finn's fixation on everyone else's drama conveniently shields him from facing his own vulnerability. Think about it. Haven't we all gotten overly involved in someone else's issues just so we wouldn't have to confront our own? Both these realizations are hitting Finn deeply, even if he can't yet fully admit them. But there's one thing he can't avoid: the painful reality of what his playing God has done. And that's exactly what brings Finn to this moment. Seeing miniature Finn standing alone on the edge, clearly sad and confused despite everything he's done to help. For all Finn's attempts at control and avoidance, he's only managed to create misery. Seeing his miniature self hurting forces Finn to finally acknowledge the damage he's caused.
Finn! Can you hear me? We are connected! Finn!
Awkwardly trying to communicate with his miniature self, his tongue. Yeah, Adventure Time gets weird sometimes, to break through the barrier between their realities. But for the miniatures who exist in their own little reality, Finn's desperate interference shows up as literal chaos, like turbulent waters flooding their world. Finally, he makes contact and confesses directly to his miniature self.
I'm why you guys is fighting! I'm the big you! I came to apologize!
This is the moment Finn genuinely sees himself clearly, maybe for the first time. He's finally taking responsibility, recognizing his actions weren't just weird but cool. They were deeply problematic and damaging. Sound familiar? Ever had a moment where you suddenly realized the chaos around you was your own doing? That your frustration, anger, or hurt wasn't about others? It was about your own unresolved feelings? It's uncomfortable, even scary, but it's also incredibly important. Because recognizing this, owning our projections, is the first real step towards emotional maturity. It's the difference between blaming others endlessly and finally saying, wait, maybe I'm the one who needs to change. Finn's realization isn't just about Adventure Time characters. It's a reflection of our own hidden emotional battles. The reality is, most of us are walking around carrying these little emotional dramas inside us, unknowingly letting them affect everyone around us, but acknowledging it is only half the battle. The real question is, how can we actually stop doing this? How do we stop ourselves from turning into emotional puppet masters without even realizing it? If you're tired of repeating Finn's mistakes in your own life, you definitely don't want to miss what's coming next. Alright, so we've realized Finn's bizarre Puppet Master episode hits painfully close to home. But knowing we're projecting, seeking control, or avoiding vulnerability is only half the battle.
I'll be back in a little while.
How do we actually stop doing it? First, when you find yourself urgently trying to control situations or people, pause and ask yourself, am I trying to control this because I feel overwhelmed or helpless inside? It's surprisingly common. Recognizing when you're grasping for control helps break the cycle, giving you clarity instead of chaos.
Inferno! Stop!
Ice the king!
Second, get real about vulnerability. Often, we obsess over other people's drama because it feels safer than facing our own insecurities. Instead of deflecting your own feelings onto someone else's issues, be brave enough to admit you're struggling. Owning your vulnerability isn't weakness, it's emotional maturity. Jake summed it up best.
Just let them do their own biz, man.
In other words, stop meddling and start dealing with what's really bothering you. Lastly, and maybe most importantly, practice honest communication. Tell people how you're feeling instead of expecting them to read your mind. Healthy relationships thrive on clear, direct dialogue, not hidden expectations or manipulative games. These steps won't magically erase all your emotional challenges overnight, but they'll definitely help you become more emotionally balanced, healthier, and way less messy.
Look who's hitting it off with the Ice King.
So, we've journeyed through Finn's emotional Puppet Master disaster and realized something pretty important. Finn's not the only one projecting his issues. This episode is messed up, but we all know we would have done worse in Finn's position. Lol, am I right? So tell me in the comments, have you had your own Finn moment?
I've got an idea!
What is it, buddy?
Rub my belly.
A time when you suddenly realized you were projecting your emotions onto someone else? A time where you felt like you could control everything?
You blew it.
Don't worry, we're all friends here. If you enjoyed diving deep into Adventure Time's hidden lessons, hit subscribe, because we've barely scratched the surface. See you in the next one.
Wow, wow. Wow, wow.